Welcome to the Relatable podcast, a safe space for open and honest conversations created for Black people.
This podcast explores how we relate to one another in our intimate connections, friendships, family, and everything in between. Hosted by 3 Caribbean women. I am Fiona, a single mom.
I'm Sherween, a very near empty nester.
And I'm Chantal, a free-spirited monogamist. Relatable, because a shared journey brings hope.
Welcome back to another amazing episode of the Relatable podcast. Yes, we've been gone a few weeks, but trust me, it's because I know we always say life is lifing, but life is lifing. Life has been lifing, okay? But we are very happy to be back. We've got some amazing things to talk about. We've got a guest today. So yes, this episode we have a lovely guest waiting. She's gonna be joining us. But before we do that, let me catch up with my girls. How are y'all doing? Chantal, how you doing? How has it been?
How am I doing? Oi. I'm like, well, how much time do we have for this episode?
Not too much time, honey. Sum it up.
Sum it up. Okay. How am I doing? I'm good. I'm in the midst of, I guess, an evolution, and that is both personal and professional. And so there's a lot going on. I'm holding a lot, and I'm also releasing a lot. So I would say today has probably been the first time for maybe a week and a half where my nervous system feels a little more grounded, right? Wow. Because there's been so much going on. It's just been go in so many aspects. And so I have, and I'll take accountability for this, I definitely have neglected some of my self practices. And also, like, we're in the midst of eclipse season, right? We're just coming off a full moon. My emotions, I've been like a water baby, just crying for everything. And I guess it's release, right? But also being really mindful to be tender with myself and to extend grace to myself and to just chill and let life do what it's going to do right now and not feel like I have to be in control and I have to fight certain things. Because at the end of the day, what is going to be is going to be. And what needs to go, gonna have to go.
Yep.
So yeah, that is where I am right now. How are you, Sherween? What's going on, Fiona?
I'll go. How am I doing? Boy, I think like you, I think the whole of August, I took August as a month just to reset. I did nothing in terms of work. I was deliberate in saying I'm not doing any work this month. Also, when I say work, I mean work, but I was also very busy with my dad.
Yes.
Yes. And this month I decided to start offloading. I'm getting rid of or going to be stopping things that are not. I'm going to be getting rid of or stopping things that are not serving me, or serving the direction my life is heading into right now, and just making space. And I guess, the full moon, that one was a very powerful one.
Yeah, man.
For me, like you, Shani, I cried and partied a lot.
Yeah, man. Duality.
I cried and partied a lot. I think, but I enjoy, but in my quiet time, I spend the time crying a lot and coming to terms with a lot of things. And my life is changing in a direction that I never expected it to.
Okay.
I hope it's for the better. I pray it's for the better. But you know what? I am taking the risk. So that's where
Nice.
I am. I'm happy, but still very mindful that I'm making huge changes
Okay.
in my life.
Okay.
That's where I am. Fifi, Fiona, where are you?
So, yeah, well, in this past week was a lot of ups and downs. Yeah, a few tearful moments of like seeing that I've realized some goals that I had like for the past 2 years, and then realizing them and feeling very empty. So I was like, oh, so it made me start to put into perspective like, have I been wasting a lot of time wanting things? So for example, to give like a clear example, Know Your Caribbean reached 500,000 followers. People are like, yeah, boop, 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 boop. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Mhm.
Yes,
Mhm.
I all the hard work. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Do I and then people will say, oh Fiona, do not, your work should not be valued by finance. Your work should not be valued by what's in your bank account. Yes, I know. Okay.
Mhm.
Yes, I know. But the reality is those goals do not give me like, okay, I reach that goal and then what
Mhm.
what if I reach 1 million? Okay, yes, great, amazing, wow, and then what, right? So it was like, and then looking like even at some other goals that I've had that I've realized, and then seeing that me spending time desiring those goals got me nowhere, right? So in terms of reshifting what my way of thinking, I say I want something, but I'm not actioning it by the goals that I'm setting and the things that I'm doing and the time that I'm spending. Um, so I felt like, I'm trying to condense it, but I felt like I wasted a lot of time.
Oh, Fee.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because
Okay.
my goals. I was focusing on the wrong things.
Okay. Okay. Wait. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I'm holding space for what you're saying, and I hear you. Right?
Okay, let me be real. Let me be
Okay. Be
real.
real. Be
Let me
real.
be real. Okay.
All right.
People will see the platform like, yeah, boy, educating the masses,
Mhm.
changing communities, connecting communities.
Mhm.
Yeah, man, respect, doing amazing work, all the history work, things that people never knew. They knew
Yes.
because of the platform. Things I've made people cry through the short films, that the many short films I've made on the
Mhm.
platform. Yeah, man, respect. And then I have pushed myself creatively. I pushed
Yes.
myself through having to trawl through all of the history material,
Mhm.
and I've gone through extreme lengths. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
But you know what? There are some people who have done the exact same thing,
Right.
right? But they've done it in a way where they have also streamlined or they've pivoted their goals in
Mhm.
order for it to manifest back to them in things to create their life more comfortable.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So
All
therefore,
right.
they've allowed themselves, they've manifested those through their creativity, through their hard work, through their history work, through their filmmaking, through their this,
Mhm.
but they've also created a value for themselves, and
Mhm.
they set it very clearly in order for that to return to them in a way that is tangible. So
Okay.
when I talk about the emptiness that I felt,
Mhm.
it is the emptiness. Hey,
Where my money? Run my check.
hello, the assets, yeah.
The
So the
asset.
500,000 followers is not
Right.
$500,000, yeah.
Okay.
And there are
Okay.
people who have a smaller community
Yes.
who have manifested more tangible things. Now people say,
Understood.
well, Fiona, that's not all that you want. That's not all that's what life is about.
Mhm.
But I'm sorry, no, I'm not sorry. I would like my life to be comfortable. I'd like
Okay.
to know that if I die today, that I would have left a legacy for my son to be comfortable. I don't want my son
Okay.
to struggle. I don't want
Mm.
my son to have a rite of passage to struggle.
Nope.
So I was very disappointed in myself that I did not that I did not do the work. I worked very hard. I was disappointed in how I did not streamline my goals with clear objectives
Mm-hmm.
to create a return for the work that I've done. So
Okay.
that's why I felt very empty.
Okay, my love.
But I'm
Okay.
okay now.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
And that's a lot. And Fiona, I guess the time you spent in the UK or downtime, whatever downtime you did in the UK, that allowed you to come to that, what you call it, reflection,
Mm.
realization,
Mm-hmm.
and these things are important. It's
Yes.
important because now you know.
Yes.
Now you know, you
Sherween.
understand how you feel now.
Yes.
You see how you feel now, knowing that you've put in all of that work, all of that effort,
Mm-hmm.
and you're disappointed, not because you didn't work, you're disappointed because it's not translated into ching ka-ching
Right.
on your account. So how do you deal with that? And
There
that's all
you go.
That's
reflection. That's what
That's
reflections
the
are
next step,
about.
right? Yeah.
I've been seeing
Yeah.
people do bullshit. Yeah,
You know, the
absolute
kids making
fuckery.
lots of money on social media, children,
Absolute fuckery.
children. So
Yeah.
again, it's a that is a true definition of a labor of love.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
that's lovely. That's lovely.
Like, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
but you know what? I I want to I want to
Mm-hmm.
Be able to
because
say, Sherween,
I
we're
love
going
how
to
Sherween
yes,
has
Martinique.
included
We're going
herself.
we're going
yes,
to Martinique this weekend. Just bring your
yes,
passport.
and we're going to stay in the most beautiful Airbnb with the
Right.
food,
Airbnb,
and we're going to have a
exactly.
lovely car, or we're going to
Yes.
stay in an all-inclusive hotel. I'm not thinking about
Exactly.
nothing.
We're going to Guadeloupe
Yeah.
next week. So are you available? Yes. Okay, then that's fine. Just bring your
Okay.
Yes,
passport. I've got
Okay.
yes.
you.
Sherween and Chantal, are
Oh
you
my,
guys
thank you for
interested?
inviting me,
Are
Fee.
you interested in going to
Because
Guatemala?
Sherween did not.
Yeah,
Hey, I'm checking for hotel.
I know, eh?
Wow.
Sherween, Chantal, would you like to go to Guatemala or Mexico for a week?
Girl.
Yes.
So
I'm
we're
at the
gonna,
Where we're
Airbnb
going to
ready.
stay in some indigenous owned boutique hotel and live.
yes, of course.
Yeah.
Yes. And
You
then
No,
know,
that's not
think
fun.
twice
That's
about it.
why.
yes, Fiona. And it's funny because I have been having the same conversations in Nevis with my friends here. And I don't know if it is the energy of the eclipse or, and
Probably,
even
probably.
today, I had a conversation with Sheena, right? Sheena
Sheena
Rose, the
Rose?
artist. And we were actually
Where is
speaking about
Sheena?
Sheena. I'm gonna tell you guys. I'll tell you guys what we hatching. But it's like there's something right now in the energy, and I have come to understand in my years of being in this human form that each time I'm at a point where everything seems really heavy and like, when is the breakthrough? And oh my gosh. And you know what? Maybe I should just forget this and da 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 da. That is when I have to be still. That is when
Mm.
I have to be
Mm,
still and not rush out to create something else and to do something else and to bring in another project because I'm coming from a place of lack, right? And it's in that moment, it is just before that other breakthrough that many people actually say, you know what, this life isn't for me. Let me
Yep,
just go and do this, or let me just go doing this instead.
yep,
But
yep.
stay the course. Stay the course. I have learned to just, Shani, just breathe, relax, stay the course. You are looked after, you are cared for, you're going to get through to the next level and you stay the course. And Fiona, I have seen you, I have witnessed you do it time and time
Yep.
again. Level up, level up, level up. I remember back in the day, we used to get excited. How much shit to say it? How much, Fiona, how much shit to say it? We used to get excited when people would be offering us 150 pounds
yeah.
for like 3 hours and hold a workshop. And we used to be like, oh my God, hello. And you know that 150 pounds in London finishing in a day. Like,
That's
come
how
on.
we're gonna
Oh,
drink that
you
the same
sneeze.
time.
You
We're
sneeze
going
that
on.
money finish.
Right? So this is why I'm saying, I'm like, Fiona, your next level is right here. It's right here. And this is why it's been feeling, this is why you've been feeling teary. And this is why you had the reflection time, because you are right now on the precipice of your next level of commanding 50,000 for this and whatever. You are right there, my girl. Trust and
Yeah.
believe. You are right there. So just, okay, it feels like shit. It feels like caca. And I'm saying this and speaking to myself and all my girls in Nevis and St. Kitts as well, because we've been having these conversations. People who we have this perception, and we must understand that what we see on social media are highlight reels. Even your good people, right?
Yep.
You're going to assume, oh, this
Yep.
person, okay, man, well, they're doing well. And that's not to say they're not doing
No,
well, but
that's
it's
like
like,
5 minutes,
hello, not even
if
that,
that.
like 30 seconds. And you
Yeah.
don't know how this thing was funded. This could have been sponsored. And
Yep.
maybe
Listen,
someone gifted that to her or him,
I
right?
saw
Hmm.
a friend of mine. We'd never met.
Right.
Admire each other on Instagram. He he showed a video of him being proposed to. Beautiful. He was being proposed to by his boyfriend.
Ooh.
And then, he's traveling all around, doing his work, and he's in this city and that city and whatever. When I finally met him, I'm like, oh my God, like, like, I'm so happy for you. Like, that your engagement video was so cute. And
Yeah.
just like, he's a girl. We broke up. I lost my
Oh,
apartment.
shit.
I was homeless. I've been going city to city because, yeah, things are terrible.
Okay.
And
No.
it's like it has been the worst period of my life. I say, bomba clock.
Jano. Okay.
Yeah?
Yes.
Jano.
Yes.
Jano.
Yes. So please, yes,
Exactly.
it is very, 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 very true.
Yeah,
Very
man.
true.
Hold it down, Fee.
Hold it
And
down. Hold it
if I
down.
were to suffer in silence, can I suffer in money?
Yes, yes, bring it down. Okay.
Please.
Please.
And all of us, please, I
Let me
beg
tell you
you,
something, yeah?
I beg,
send
oh.
some disposal, please.
Let
Please,
me
I
tell you
beg.
something. Okay? Money. Okay, for
Oh
example,
my God.
you
Well, we
feeling
Ooh.
could go
sad?
on and on and on, but
Listen,
we
honey.
have an amazing guest. We
Yes,
have
we
a guest, and I'm
do.
so excited to have her on. Our guest for this episode is Rowena Sutherland, and she's a Bahamian-born storyteller, herbalist, and the voice of the rooted feminine. Rowena, also known as Ro, is a cultural advocate with a remarkable ability to connect people across the globe through shared narratives. As a former executive director of culture for the Bahamas, Rowena has represented her nation and its rich heritage, spending her career shining a light on the voices and stories of the African, Caribbean, and Latin American diaspora. She's currently the Chief Communications Officer of Africa Caribbean Trade Linkages and Cultural Gateway, which represents the vital opportunity for deeper business connections and economic empowerment across the African and Caribbean diaspora. Very, very interesting. All what's going on. I'm so happy you're
Hmm.
on. So she also hosts the Soul Center podcast, a sacred space for women and men who feel deeply, lead consciously, and are here to rise in truth. And Rowena is also an avid listener of the Relatable podcast. Bring
Ba,
her
ba, ba, ba.
on, Rowena. Ah,
Rowena. I'm really here. I'm geeking out. I'm so excited. Thank you. Thank you. And
how are
also,
you
I do too many
doing?
things. That bio was long.
Rowena,
It's
welcome.
powerful, not
Thank
long.
It
It's
was
you.
long
powerful.
because you're doing so much. You're doing so much. You've
Yes.
done, and everything is so needed. Everything is like, I'm reading it and I'm like, yep, herbalist. Okay, I need to get your details because Farmer Sherween here needs a little bit of info. So, hey,
Yes.
welcome,
Welcome
welcome,
to
Oh,
welcome.
thank
Relatable,
you.
Mrs. Rowena Poitier-Sutherland from the Bahamas.
Oh, it is
Yes,
an honor to be here and to share space with you ladies. I have been admiring you all individually and collectively. And I just want to thank you for having me here. And even just hearing your intro, you all are so, you have such gravitas and you just speak such truth. Thank you for standing in your authenticity. And child, yes, we need to talk about that moon because this red blood moon,
my
Ooh,
God.
woo,
Yes.
child.
it is. Fiona,
I
I
was
hear
howling
you.
and crying.
Honestly. But you know what, Rowena?
It's a lot.
I have to say that you may be the first person from the Bahamas that we have had as a guest on this
Yes.
podcast. So
Mm,
Yeah,
you are
definitely.
repping the Bahamas, right? You
correct.
Repping my
the whole all the
people.
islands, okay? All the islands of the Bahamas, okay? Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
There's so much that we want to explore with you, Rowena.
Hmm.
So much. But I think, and because we had this pre conversation, which then turned into a podcast, and we
Yes.
Hmm.
touched on
Right.
so much. And I know that Sherween has things that she wants to ask, and I know that Fiona has things that Fiona wants to ask. But I would
Mm.
love you to actually begin with number one, letting us know which island, what island of the Bahamas you grew up on. Where are you right now? Where were you born? Tell us about the
Mm.
Bahamas, because like
Oh,
we
I
said, it's like
love
you're like the adopted sister or something, all the way out there. Like, come on
exactly.
into the fold. Come, tell us.
Ooh, child, I come in, I come in. Let me tell you this. So we an archipelago, so we have many islands, and so I'm kind of mixed up like conch salad, as we say over here.
Mhm.
I was born in Freeport, Grand Bahama, and later came to the capital city of Nassau, which is on the island of New Providence, where
Mm.
I spent, I spent my teenage years into adulthood, and then I ended up moving to Cat Island. So I've got Nassau, Freeport, and Cat Island, and that's where I'm based right now. But I will actually be transitioning back into the city.
Yeah. Your
Wow.
exciting news that you shared with us, but we
Yeah.
won't say anything until you do.
Well, I'm adding more things to my portfolio in that bio. I have just been named the head of performance for the Bahamas' new creative and performing arts school of the
Wow.
Bahamas. And this is open to
We
the
need to blow,
Caribbean and it's a
we need to blow
creative hub.
some horns here. We need to blow some horns here.
Yeah, we
Big
Oh,
definitely
yeah.
news. Big things are going, Rowena.
huge,
Thank you.
huge.
Thank you. I was sharing with you all before that this just feels like a continuation. When I
Mhm.
was younger and I was doing interesting things and it was a first and it was like, oh, I'm so excited. I want to get it right and I want to be good and it's a big deal. And yes, this is beautiful. It's a big deal. I'm honored, but it also feels like, yes, okay.
Mm.
It's time and I'm walking into what I have been preparing for my entire life.
And
And so
why
it
do you say
feels
that,
right.
Rowena? Tell us, elaborate more. How has this latest iteration of yourself and your career life brought you back to where you began?
Mm. Well, I have known what I wanted to do and what I
Mhm.
wanted to be since I was 4 years old.
Wow.
And I said it plainly. I was like, well, God put me on this planet to act. So I'm going to act. And I would, do impressions of like Steve
Mm.
Urkel and all of these things. I just knew
Wow.
that
Yes.
that's what I was here to do. And it
Right.
has taught me through the technique of acting and the study of acting it's
Mhm.
how I see the world and how I process the world. I
Mhm.
can understand and empathize. I can I can share in someone's different perspective. I can step outside of myself,
Um,
and it's been so healing for me in so many respects. That's actually how I relate in the world. And
wow.
I have gone. I've been dogged with it. I went
Mhm.
to university in New York, Adelphi University, where I got my
Mhm.
Bachelor of Fine Arts in acting
Yes.
technique.
Okay, girl.
Yes,
Okay.
theater studies. Then I later went on to California State University, Long Beach, where I received my Master in Fine Arts in Arts Education,
Oh.
theater and film production, and
Mm-hmm.
acting technique. And I came home to the Bahamas. I returned from Los Angeles in 2011, and
Mm-hmm.
I decided to open my school, which is BAM, Bahamas Artist Movement. And I
Wow.
started doing community theater. I started doing improvisation for at-risk communities with
Mm-hmm.
children, and it grew from there. And the work, I just, whatever I do, it's always been about getting to this healing work of
Mm.
connecting through the art of performance. And
Yes.
so that has always been my vision. I said it when I was 14 that I would open a performing arts school and that no other child would feel the way that I feel, which was
Mm-hmm.
stuck because I'm on a rock here in the Bahamas on
Yes.
my island. There's no
Yes.
industry to speak of. And
Mm-hmm.
people are telling me if I want to be an actor, I'm crazy. I'm insane. They don't make any money. What you thinking? Go be
Mm.
smart. Go be a doctor, be a lawyer, or
Of
fill in the blank.
course. Of course. Of
So
course.
yeah,
Typical.
that's a little bit about my journey. That's Caribbean
That's
people. That's how we grew
Caribbean.
up.
And our friends in Ghana and Nigeria and other countries in Africa would actually say, well, it's not Caribbean, it's black.
Yeah.
It's just
Yep.
us.
Yep.
I'm like,
Just
okay, fair point. Fair point.
Real
yeah.
talk.
But you know what, Rowena, I can't help but ask you this question. And I want to know if I'm the only one. Like, okay, Rowena acting Poitier as your surname.
Yeah.
Is there any relation between the great?
The great Sir Sidney Poitier. Yes, there is.
You
And
serious?
yeah, I'm joking. Serious,
That
but
one is your
serious.
uncle, you know that?
Yeah. So we are related distantly. He's related to my grandfather,
Okay,
and
so basically he's your uncle.
basically, and I
What?
only had the honor of meeting him once
Mm-hmm,
when I in person. We would speak on the phone when I lived in Los
mm-hmm.
Angeles. I really appreciated him embracing me. I'm family, and I was there in Los Angeles, and
Beautiful.
oh, he gave me a talk. He was like, "You sure you don't want to be a dentist? You
Are
want to
you
be an actor?"
serious?
Yeah, he was like, "You have to be insane to want to do this. So you
Wow.
really have to want to do this. You have to live this. You have to breathe this. Is this really what you want? Are you ready to go through this?"
Mm,
And I passed the test
okay.
and got the stamp of approval. And I was like, "Yes, let's. I'm going to do it. I can't not do it." And he felt very sorry for me, but embraced me.
Oh no. I guess from his own experiences, right? Of course.
You know, I love your humility in the storytelling. Other Caribbean people will be like, yeah man, Sydney Porty, that man is my uncle. That one
That's
is
my
by my home all the
G.
time.
That's my
That man tell
G.
me that man has by his house in LA all the time. No, she gave a very like humble and honest.
I mean, for me personally, I'm my interest.
Mm-hmm.
I have to go to my interest. Two things that we spoke. One that we spoke about earlier before we started recording. You were speaking about life in the Bahamas and how cut out the Bahamas is from the Caribbean due to its proximity to America and the
Mm-hmm.
mindset of the people back then. How do you see yourself in your work and some of the stuff you're doing, reconnecting the Bahamas with the rest of the Caribbean, but also with Africa because you're doing a lot of work
Hmm.
with
Hmm.
African countries as well.
Oh, I love that question. So I refer to myself as a generational storyteller. We
Mm-hmm.
just talked about Sidney Poitier he's a storyteller. My
Mm-hmm.
mother, she was a storyteller. She actually was the host of one of our first TV shows called It's Academic that used to come on our one TV station.
I
And
love it.
she's an educator as well. But it's in the blood, and so I've always been connecting our stories and our perspectives
Mm,
by finding a global outlet, telling our
Mm,
stories to anyone that would listen, and that's manifested as the podcast. That's
mm,
now manifested as being the chief communications officer for ACT LCG, which is the Afri Caribbean Trade and Logistics Consulting Group. It's a mouthful,
mm,
we know.
wonderful.
um, and that's about sharing not only business and tangible products, but our
Mm,
culture, and having
mm.
healing and real necessary discourse of being from the diaspora and also being from the motherland. And what does that
Yes.
mean? And what are the stories that we've missed from each other? And how can we then come together and heal and also keep that dollar circulating within our communities to empower
Yes.
each other
Mm-hmm.
to continue to
Yes.
tell our stories and continue to thrive and to create new stories.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
those are some ways in which I think all of my work connects.
Yes.
Uh,
Mm.
and through the podcast, it's all
Mm-hmm.
about hearing the perspectives of Caribbean people, Latin American people, African peoples. What are our stories? And then
Yes.
what are the topics that are interesting to us? What do we need to know so that we can be healthy and well in all
Mm-hmm.
aspects, spiritually, mentally, physically?
Yeah. Making it
Wow.
more
So yeah.
holistic.
That's there's so
Yeah.
much. There is so much, I think for me personally, there's so many things that I would love to learn to connect with. Now that I'm spending a lot of time with my dad telling me his stories of when he was growing up that have a direct link that these things come from Africa. Do you know that?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like,
Mm-hmm.
what are you talking about? And I trying to go in, like, I'm not the historian, you understand? So
Mm-hmm.
I'm but I'm telling him these things, this and that. Anyway, I could see there's so many linkages between us, and the divide is also very wide, very, very
Mm-hmm.
wide. We still have a lot of people in the Caribbean saying they're not African. They call me African.
Right.
I'm not
That
Right.
blows
African.
my mind. That blows
Yeah.
Big
my mind.
time.
So work like what you're doing, this is very important. The flying directly from the Caribbean to Africa. I cannot wait for that to happen if it's not happening already. I
Mm.
mean, these things are so needed. So thank you
Yeah.
so much for that work and that connection you're making for us. I can't
Yeah.
wait to get my Benin passport.
I have a quick
Hey.
question.
Give it to
Oh,
me.
I have a spanner to throw.
A question.
Big spanner. It's actually from
Okay.
our beloved friend Sophie. So
Mm-hmm.
Sophie is a cultural practitioner,
Mm,
spiritual person, just an incredible Caribbean woman from
mm,
Martinique. And she just posted,
Oh, I saw
um,
that.
yes, about
Yes.
her saying that she felt like a colonizer
Mm-hmm.
because she said that she was engaging with a realtor for properties in Benin,
Mm-hmm.
and that how that
mm,
she herself, coming from a place of privilege, and she recognized that she was having colonizer mentalities,
Mm-hmm.
um, in terms of her looking to buy property in Benin and so on.
mm,
But so I have two questions. So in terms of balancing our Caribbean relationship with Africa, and of course we have very limited knowledge. So sure, when we talk about your father and he's saying this, and you can recognize like, oh, this is African, this is a very African thing that you're talking about. But then also Africans, West Africans' relationship with us as
mhm,
well. There is, I find there's a huge gap um, in that connection where yes, you see a lot of people are cutting out these colonizer mindsets, but then
mhm,
a lot of times you still finding it's creeping in, and also added to it the lack of information that we have about each other. So
Mm-hmm.
a lot of time people feel like, so for example, you find, even talking about the legacies of slavery, right? You find
mhm,
that Africans talk like that's not their history,
mm,
right? They do not refer to their own ancestors as enslaved people.
Mm-hmm.
But many of the
Mm-hmm.
ancestors would have been, because if you think about it, there would have been enslaved people there who had families there.
Mm-hmm.
They were taken away from their families
yes.
and went off to be enslaved.
Yes.
And so their children, whatever, went on to live their lives in Africa. And they're also that part of their family, yeah, because your
Mm-hmm.
ancestors, your
Mm,
family, went on to be enslaved in the Caribbean. But
Yes.
mm,
they do not associate that history with themselves.
yeah.
So in terms of this connection of yes, that we are black and African descendant, how do we work through that big disconnect? Is what I'm
Mm.
is what I'm asking.
I really love that question. You know, I was in Ghana I guess that was March, April for the ACT LCG trade show. and I had the opportunity to go to one of the castles to the door of no return.
Mhm.
And I walked down that spiraling staircase that my ancestors would have walked, and went through the door, stood on that beach. And I thought, wow, not only a handful of people ever made it to the Caribbean. And so the people who weren't here, they didn't come to this castle, they didn't have to go through this.
Mm.
They don't know what these people who went through the door of no return were feeling. And so there is an ocean between us. There is this divide, but it was just such a visceral, tangible feeling. So I'm echoing what you're saying, but I felt that in my body. And
Wow.
to answer your question, I don't have the answers, but I suspect that stories are a big part of our healing. And
Yes.
I believe that we all need to go to the motherland first and foremost.
Yes.
You have to go to
Yes.
the source, because just the energetic pull of the energy of being in that space, being in the environment will do something to you that will start the healing, but also the proximity to those that remained. There's a cross healing that I believe happens just being in the presence and deeply listening, because one of the major issues that some Ghanaian friends would have shared with me was, you know, y'all coming from America, y'all coming from the Caribbean, and you know so much. You don't think that we're smart. You're putting your perspective and your Western ideas on us, thinking
Hmm.
that we're still, savage, and we are some of the most
Mhm.
intelligent people. And so they're
Right.
insulted. And so I think that is a lack of information and a lack of
Mm.
understanding. We need to listen to the stories. What did happen for those who remained? And they
Yes.
need to hear from us. What happened here in the
Yes.
colonies? And how has that played out over the generations? What is the atmosphere like? Who, what, when, where, why? Going back to acting. I take
Hmm.
it everything back to acting. But I believe that we have to have some uncomfortable
Oh,
conversations, and we
yes.
have to listen, and
Oh,
that's the
yeah.
healing. And we have to know that it's going to be uncomfortable even in working together.
Hmm.
Culturally, the way that
Agreed.
we do things is different from the way they do things, and not to be like, well, I can't work with you, I hate you, or put you as other, but to say, I don't
Mm.
like you right now, I'm uncomfortable, and I'm going to stay and I'm going to try to
Mm.
understand this
Yes.
so that we can be a force, because we are
Yes.
a force.
Yes. And that
So
is
that,
where the magic happens. The
yeah.
magic happens in that space of being uncomfortable,
Hmm.
right?
Yes.
And us having
Agreed.
the ability to stay in that space and let it ride out
Yeah.
with everything. And that, those conversations and the art of actively listening
Hmm.
instead of listening to give your version
Responds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
of the story, but actually
Mm.
listening, right? To
Yeah.
understand, for clarity.
Yes.
That is the way that we go forward together. And it's going to take generations. And I do feel that strides have been made. I do feel that there have been changes and more open conversations and more collaborations and partnerships and support of one another. I feel it and I see that it's happening. Even in the short
Mhm.
time that I returned, I say short, but it was 22 years that I lived back in the UK, I see the differences. I remember as a child being in the UK and, there were Nigerian families in Leeds who looked down on people from the Caribbean,
Yeah.
right? And
Mm.
I'm being very clear to say that there were Nigerian families, and that doesn't mean that all Nigerian families felt that way. But
Hmm.
there were definitely Nigerian families that looked down on people from the Caribbean. And for me, that is from lack of true understanding of our experiences and why we are the way we are, and vice versa. And all the
Mhm.
stereotypes that we allowed the colonizers
Oh, yes.
to perpetuate and that we held on to. So there's also a lot of decolonizing that needs to take place on both, from
Yeah,
both
but
parties.
Shani, just imagine us. You remember when we returned home? You remember the few episodes we
Yeah,
record when we
100%.
returned home and
Yes.
we felt out of place. We felt like And then we had to check ourselves in it. We had to check ourselves and say,
Yeah.
how dare you? You're so arrogant to feel like you come
Mm,
into the them place and you want to tell the people how to do their thing. So it's the same
Yeah.
thing. If we
Yeah.
are to go there, if we are to want to integrate and learn, we have to be willing to listen. We have to
Yeah.
be willing to understand that these people, yes, they were not they were not taken or stolen, but they moved on. They went on with their lives. But we still don't know how painful it was for them. We
Mm-hmm.
still don't know how their stories of the pain of losing their children.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree with you, Rowena, 100% on that. It's about
Yeah.
telling stories,
Yeah.
and that's where our amazingness comes in with all of us being in film. Well,
I mean, a whole consortium right here,
a
right?
whole consortium of
Of
amazing women who've
storytellers.
all worked in film, who's all done amazing storytelling. So I love that. I really, really love that.
Yes.
But one aspect for me, again, going back to your bio that stood out was the spirituality and the herbalism and the sacred space for women,
mhm.
soul center podcast, all these things. If we could just touch on a little bit of it, I would love that. Especially the herbalism practices, and how do you intertwine that with
Mm.
the soul center podcast?
Oh, I love that question. Thank you for it. So I think I'm going to take you all on a little bit of a merry-go-round
Please do. We love
Hmm.
that.
because I I believe that our ancestors are with us. I
Mm.
call
Yes.
on them daily. And I wanted to share with you a little history that you may be familiar with. The Honorable Marcus Mosiah
Oh,
Garvey
yeah. He
came to
has
the
to be in this
Bahamas.
conversation. Come on
He has
now.
to be
We're talking Pan
Pan-Africanist.
Africanism, right?
Yes. He came to the Bahamas in 1928, and they did not want him to get off that boat.
Mm-hmm.
They did everything they could to keep him on the boat, but the Black Bahamian people and activists did. They fought, they wrote letters, they advocated, and they got him off the boat. And when he finally got off the boat, he stood before the Bahamian people in torrential rains, and the people stood there in the rain. And he said that the Bahamas would be the last to come to Pan Africanism, but would lead the movement.
Wow.
Okay. Well then.
That
No
for me,
pressure. No pressure.
no pressure, but it's happening. It's happening, right? And I start there because that bleeds into all aspects of my work
Right.
with ancestry. And so I begin with ancestry because that same soil that the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey stood on is the same soil where our trees grow.
Oh
And I
my
believe
goodness.
that there is healing in the leaves. And I didn't know. I didn't
Mm.
know. And you just don't know what you don't know.
Right.
So I mentioned earlier that I moved to Cat Island. I moved there in 2021. And
Mm-hmm.
Cat Island is the birth home of Sidney Poitier. And
Right.
people know
Mm.
nothing else about it except it's called Cat Island.
Okay.
And everybody, when we do a lineage trace, pretty much has descended from Cat Island. And it is
Right.
still the most African island that we have in
Mm-hmm.
terms of traditional practice,
Yes.
of Obeah and that kind
Yes.
of thing.
Yes.
So
I've read with Junkanu as well, like traditional Junkanu.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
That
yes,
yes, Cat Island is the place to
It's the
get the
yes.
Mecca.
Cat
actual.
Island is the
Mm.
birthplace of Rake and Scrape, which is our indigenous
Hmm.
music.
Mm.
Hmm.
Yes,
And
yes, I've heard that about Cat Island.
I call Cat Island a she. She is deeply healing. Like the
Love it.
spirits, the ancestors, everything is just there and palpable. And I'm very sensitive. So I
Okay.
went there for necessary healing after working for government for several years. And
Oh, oh, oh
I
dear.
needed healing. I needed a
You
healing. I
needed a
needed a
healing.
healing.
Everybody
Oh
does need
God.
I
healing
hear
after
you,
working
girl.
from the government, boy.
Oh
It
boy.
was just, it's a lot. It's when to whom much is given, much is required. So
Indeed.
I'm grateful for that. But I needed to recalibrate and to heal. And I went to the island and I walked the land. We got into farming. My husband farms. And I started just kind of researching these leaves. I was like, hey, I wonder what this does. And soon I realized that in every Bahamian yard, with all of the ailments that Bahamian have, the predominant ones, diabetes, high blood
Mhm.
pressure, hypertension. There was a plant in the yard for everything,
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
even sickle cell. And
Yep.
Okay.
I say, this is a pharmacy. And I was just, my mind was blown. And I grew up with bush medicine, but I just know it to be something that tastes bad.
Mm.
Um, but I was putting these together and it was tasting good. And researching this, and so I was, let me do a course, let me do another course. And I just really got into it. And I believe with all of my being that the ancestors led me, because I would be
Yes.
in the bush, I would be on the farm, just with the leaves, with the nature. And when I would ingest the tea, it was downloaded information. It was
Mm.
Wow.
centuries old, just coming into my
Jeez.
body. The knowledge was entering into me. And I
Mm.
thought, I got to share
Right.
this with my generation and those
Yeah.
younger, the next generation. They have to know that the
Mm.
healing is in the leaves. And
Okay.
so that's how I was led to that. And that is such, I think if someone were to just say, oh, tea, acting, podcast, what are these things? Women's space, what does that have to do?
Uh-huh.
But it's all about healing. It's about remembrance from whence you come. And
Yes.
so understanding the beginning, the middle, and the end.
I
So putting
love
your
that.
stories together, right?
Ro- I really love that, Rowena. And in listening to
Wow.
you, as you give us more insight into the spaces that you're occupying, all of these different threads, it's like you're weaving. So you're weaving this story, and it's like
Mm-hmm.
almost like you're weaving a quilt. So all the threads
Mm,
may feel different, but they're all leading to
Something.
a, something, a whole,
Mm-hmm.
like
A whole.
it's a
Mhm.
whole tapestry. That's the word I'm struggling for. It's a
That
tapestry,
resonates with me. Thank you for that. That
right?
really resonates. Hmm.
That's how it's feeling. And so, and I find like in 2025, there is more of an acceptance of people being more than one thing and being powerful in more than one space. But
Hmm.
quite often you find that all of these different threads are leading to the whole of
Yes.
something,
Yes.
right? And there seems to be, I find, especially in the creative space, more of an understanding and acceptance of that. So it's no longer I am this. It's like I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this. And
Yep.
mm,
overall, this is how it all links and comes together. And the healing and the storytelling, the ancestral veneration, all of
Hmm.
these things are so powerful separately and together. This is where the movement and the changes take place,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So, having you here and speaking to us so beautifully about all the work that you're doing in the Bahamas, and all I find was really beautiful as well is that all of the things that you're doing, Fiona, of course, she's our historian, right?
Mm.
She's our historian. Sherween is our herbalist.
Mm.
She's our herbalist and other things. Fiona is our historian and other things. I don't know what the hell I am, but I am also
all
other
the things.
things.
Go, go.
All the
You're
things.
all the things.
I am also other things. And so each one of us, we resonate with everything you're saying. But I think there may have been a moment, and correct me if I'm wrong, Sherween and Fiona, where there was a little heart flip or a little stomach flip. Like,
Yep.
yes, right?
Yep.
Because
Yes,
you're
big
speaking to us
time.
as a whole and as
Mm.
individuals. And that's what you're doing with your work. And that's why your work is so powerful.
Thank you. Thank you.
I have a little something for you, Rowena, because you mentioned Marcus Garvey, right?
Mm.
Why
Yeah.
why did you bring him up very quickly? Question.
Well, why did I bring him up?
Mm-hmm.
Spirit spoke, and I said his name, and I think
Mm,
that he's the Pan Africanist. He led that movement, and
mm,
to address all that I'm doing, I have to mention his name.
right.
He comes
Okay.
up a lot for me, so I yeah, that's why I mentioned him.
So I have something for you. So
Mm.
this is from the 18th of June 1919, and this is a letter that was sent to the governor of the Bahamas at the time. And it says, "My Lord, I have the honor to report that on the discovery in February last, copies of a newspaper called the Negro World, which is Marcus Garvey's newspaper, published in New York and containing articles of nature calculated to incite the colored races against the white race were being sold in the colony. And the governor directed that any copies of the newspaper arriving in the colony should be seized. And it goes on to say that the action was taken. So this is sent to the governor of the Bahamas of how Marcus Garvey's newspapers were inciting a spirit of rebellion
And
and
they try and
revolt.
block it.
They didn't
Yes.
try, they did. They seized the newspapers, they
Bastards.
stopped it, right?
Mm.
So
Bastard.
it goes to show that, yes, Bahamians were very much in the forefront of, and this is in 1919.
19.
It's not that long
Wow.
ago. It is not that long
No,
ago.
people don't
So,
real well, Fiona, thank you for sharing that. That
so
you just gave my body is vibrating, and that
Yes.
is such a gift. I love history, and that is truly a gift. So thank you for that.
Mm.
Wow. Wow.
yes,
Well,
because
Wow.
it was in, it said, because what I love is what it said, it was to incite the colored races against the white race.
That's right.
Mm.
So they was ready to burn fire. Yeah, fire was ready to burn, and then they blocked it. So it goes to show that, yes, I think often the Bahamas is not associated with Black liberation.
Hmm.
Bahamas is
Mhm.
the Bahamas is not associated with African spirituality, and that's just down to our ignorance because
Yes.
everything
yes.
Agreed.
that's shown at the
Agreed.
Bahamas is nice beach, nice beach, nice beach, nice beach. Serving cocktails and that's it, right?
Yep.
Casinos, and the world is severely uneducated about the power of what the Bahamas holds and the rebellion and the
Mm.
black empowerment that is held in the Bahamas. So just to highlight that you are basically undoing the work of that governor. You are
You're
undoing
the
the work of all
bastard.
of those. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
All of them
Fiona.
colonizers that was blocking them things. You unblocking that.
Yep.
You just
Mm.
you just keeping something that was already alive, right? They try to cover it with dirt and dust and whatever, but you are coming and you pouring water on that gas. You put in fertilizer on that. You put in sunshine
Mhm.
on that. You put in love in that. You singing songs on that, and it's sprouting and bearing roots and bearing fruits. So just to say, like, the work that you're doing, and that's when you said Marcus Garvey, I said, I have to read that thing for you.
Mm.
Well, so thank you.
Ashe. Ashe.
Thank you. Thank you.
Rowena, again, it's just another great conversation where we could stay here forever.
Forever.
Um, but you have really teleported us. Like you brought us across the Atlantic. We were there with you at the door of no return. We were there with you in Cat Island. You have brought us in all these kinds of spaces that feel just really powerful. And I want to say
Mm.
thank you for like talking about like entering into those spaces of discomfort
Mm.
and being real about these things. I think the Pan African movement, the reconnection to our roots and our heritage is often very romanticized.
Hmm.
And there's
Yeah.
a lot of things, uncomfortable truths. And I just want to thank you for speaking about it in a way that's not scary, is gentle, is nurturing, is encouraging, but yet still I feel like super empowered. So I just want to say thank you so much for being here with us and for sharing all of this incredible work that you're doing.
It's my absolute honor. Thank you so much for having me. And again, for this space that you all hold for our community and for women. And I'm a fan. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rowena.
Thank you
Truly.
for being a fan after knowing all of our hot mess.
Like
Like,
all of the
Yes.
hot messes.
like
When
you're a
you-
fan, really? You
Honestly,
listen to
like
this podcast
really?
and you still love us? Okay.
Are you kidding? That's one of the most attractive parts. I mean, who among us is not?
A hot mess.
And
Listen.
you all unapologetically are like sharing the realness and the bravery of doing that. That's admirable. I'm like, what? Yes, these ladies are real. I can mess with them.
Introducing.
Thank you.
So,
Thank
Rowena, I'm going to ask you this question. And as you
Okay.
know, during our podcast, we like to acknowledge that as much as life can life, there's always a little something, a little pocket of joy that has occurred for us. So, what has been your little pocket of joy in the last few days?
Ooh, I'm excited to even talk about it. My little pocket of joy over the past few days has been watching Adventure Time with my son,
Oh,
uh,
Nice. I love Adventure Time.
walking barefoot in the damp soil because it's been raining lately as I pick my leaves.
Hmm.
And I got to do that under the full blood moon. So it
Right.
was just a gorgeous experience. And finally, as a educator, you want to know that your students receive something and they can thrive in the world. And one of my students I've had since she was 12 is now in her 20s and going to grad school. She was accepted to RADA, the Royal
Oh,
Academy of Dramatic Art.
what?
wow.
Yeah, you can
Nice.
talk to me.
Listen, big up yourself,
Nice.
okay?
Nice. Nice.
So
Nice.
yeah,
Yes.
that's been my pocket of joy in the last few days. It's been just marvelous.
Wow. Congratulations to your student.
Congratulations.
Amazing.
Please. That's amazing. Rather, I saw she going on. Kidding.
Yes. In their first
Yes.
screenwriters program, she was one of 12 people selected globally.
Screenwriter. Come on.
Nice.
That's
Come through.
incredible.
Well
Nice.
done.
Yeah.
Well done. Rowena, thank you for sharing that with us. Thank you for spending this time with us. Sherween, my darling, share with us what has been your little pocket of joy for the last week.
Well, boy.
and,
Aye,
and
aye,
and remember,
aye.
we have children listening. No, I'm kidding.
Well, anyways, you know what? Let me shut my mouth.
I'm kidding.
Oh my God, Fiona. You know something? I'll tell you what has been bringing me joy this week. I
Please.
have decided to start dating again.
Oh,
Dating.
Sherween is dating
That's the joy.
Fiona.
That's like the joy. I have to make joy. I have to find joy
Yeah,
in whatever
man.
it is. You understand?
Yes.
And my situation has not been the most joyful. So I
Okay.
decided, you know what? I'm gonna start dating. And not just dating, but dating with the intention
Hmm.
of finding a relationship.
Oh my
The
goodness.
situationship thing, it kind of getting tired.
Okay.
I
Right.
I think I want something more solid, and I'm talking myself into accepting that.
Hmm.
Showing, you know what? Having a partner in your life may not be such a bad thing.
Okay.
Okay? So I
Okay.
am intentionally,
Hmm.
intentionally,
Hmm.
sensually.
Fiona,
you know what?
stop.
Yeah, anyway.
Let's not. Okay. Just not.
I hate you.
No, but you didn't have to say that sensually,
She
but then you
she
just
said
go,
it on purpose to piss us off, Fee.
so
That's why.
you could just bring back the sensuality episode
I did it
and
Yes.
see how
deliberately.
up
I
to
did it
Bree,
today
deliberately.
bring
it's
back
still
that
over. It's
episode,
still gone
right?
over our head. It ain't download yet.
And for those of
Yes.
you who have been listening to us for time, you will know why Fiona and I are pissed off at that comment that Sherween just made on purpose.
She taking us a public show. That's why.
Hmm.
Anyway, I am intentionally dating for a relationship.
Okay, my love.
So a lot of frogs are being kissed, and
Hmm.
I dropping them back in the water one time.
Oh,
I ain't got no time for guppies.
oh
I
no.
am dropping them back in the water
Or throw
one
some salt on
time.
them.
Hey, salt,
Wow,
everything,
this yeah,
everything, just gone,
savage.
just gone with
Mm.
yourself.
Okay.
But yes, this is where I am. And it's nice. It's been very nice.
Hmm.
So that's what's been bringing me a little pocket of joy in my life
Lovely.
the past few
Lovely.
weeks.
So lovely.
Fiona, what has been bringing you joy this week?
What has brought me joy is that I made the best mango sorbet I've ever had in my whole life.
Yeah, I love that.
I hope you save some for me.
I was waiting for you to say that, eh? No, it was the whole thing was completely consumed.
I love that. I'm
Um,
so happy, Fiona.
I did. They
I
had
vex.
how much mango was there? I picked the mangoes, cut them up, froze them, and I
Mm.
passed them through the sorbet maker machine we have there, right?
Hmm.
So no sugar, no milk, no additives,
Girl,
just
just
mango.
mango
And it
soft.
was smooth and
Ooh,
delicious
mm,
and lovely. And I was like, wow, like it's just the little things, just the little things.
it
So I want to
is.
continue doing those little things to make me
Mm.
happy. And that's it. Chantal, what about you?
Oh yes. What has brought me joy in the last few days? Hmm. You know what? I'm gonna stay in the food lane. When am I
You see,
ever
every
not
time
in
it's
the food lane?
women,
Are you
no,
ever
you
not
see,
in the
the
food?
two of y'all, I tell the two of y'all, both is one is one thing, one is another thing, and it's be the same two things. Everyone brings you joy. Every
Excuse
time.
me, what you trying to say, Fiona?
I just said one thing and another thing. That's all I said.
Oh gosh.
What are you insinuating, Miss Fiona?
Hey, take it how you want it. I just
I'm
said
I
taking it how I
one of
want.
y'all always choose one thing that makes you happy,
food. I
and
know.
another one chooses another thing that makes them happy.
Man,
But you
I
you
never said
asked,
that.
but the whole thing is what has brought us joy. And I'm
I'm
being
just
honest. I
I'm
don't
just
understand.
rinsing a theme.
I am
We're
feeling
in season
very
4.
attacked right now. I don't
I'm just
understand.
me too, Shani, me too.
How Fiona quarreling with my joy making
I'm
me
just
sense.
saying. Like, let me guess. Food. Let me guess.
Playing up
Man.
her nose as well when I say it's man not making me happy. Fiona,
I don't
Fiona, you see you?
Every, I'm sorry. So when you're right. Every now and again you see a trend did something amazing and you support
Wow,
a trend.
okay.
Wow.
Every now and
Wow,
again.
wow. Says the
Fiona,
man of my
I don't
children.
know. I just
Wow.
Hey,
now I
Anyway,
pray,
Professor,
Shani.
Shani,
you know
I
my thing is
pray. I
you're
pray.
spending so much time being offended and no time proving me wrong.
it's okay.
You're just
Shani,
laughing.
darling, what did you eat that brought you so much joy?
Talk now. God damn.
Hey, I didn't say food or money, no.
Listen,
I
I,
just said
I don't care. I don't care.
one
I gotta
friend
share
like
my
one
joy.
thing and another friend like another thing,
God
and y'all just
damn.
jumped in. I didn't. That's what I said.
You
Anyway,
said what you said with your chest high and you know what you were saying, and
yeah,
I don't give a shit. Okay? So, yes,
anyways.
today, and it is just today, actually, it started yesterday. Yesterday, I had the most amazing iced matcha. I don't give a shit. I loved it. However, I did
Mhm.
feel guilty because I understand so much more about matcha now. And I'm sure, number one, it was not ceremonial grade matcha. Number
Okay,
two,
what's matcha? I know it's the, the
is the
green
That's
green,
thing.
the green
drinking.
plant, right? And they make tea. And well, actually, it is Japanese and they use it for ceremonies, right? But
Matcha.
colonizers colonizing decided to introduce the addition of milk and make matcha lattes. And of course, the
You know what? That's
colonized,
really wrong.
so wrong, the colonized wellness community, because let's be real, the
Yep.
wellness industry is a colonized version of wellness, right? They took it, they ran with it, they made it, oh, it's the healthy alternative. It's healthy caffeine, it's green caffeine. You have a matcha latte. And hands up, Chantal Olivia Miller has lately, in the last year, started to consume matcha lattes, iced
Mhm.
matcha lattes, because they taste good, right? With oat milk and a little bit of honey and whatnot. I don't go overboard and add whipped cream because hello, what are you doing?
That's a bit
Um,
yeah.
like, come on, stop. There must be limitations. But I have actually decreased the number of matcha lattes I consume because I then found out that there's something that they inhibit the absorption of. And being a woman at a certain stage of my life, perimenopause, I am doing a lot more reading on the things that I'm eating. I noticed, because I'm not a perimenopausal woman that has a lot of hot flashes, but I noticed since I started to drink my matcha lattes, me I get hot flash. I'm like, wait a
Eh,
minute. But it's the caffeine, because
Oh, oh,
caffeine
right.
triggers them, right? So, for
Mm.
two reasons, I have decreased my consumption of matcha lattes. And so, the one that I had yesterday was the first one in weeks, and I very much enjoyed it. I did get joy from it. But I am
Mm.
now very conscious that this is just the colonization of someone's ceremonial tea, ceremonial
Boy,
ritual. So I'm feeling a
that's
kind of
kind of
way.
rough.
Yeah, boy. As good as it is, I'm like, yo, I must be able to find something else that really
Can
does
I
make me
just
feel
try
good,
one? Can I
right?
just try one? I've been wanting to try it, but I don't know anywhere in St. Lucia they do it.
I'm sure they do, babes.
Yeah, they
I'm
have
sure
it. They
there
have
are.
it.
Yeah,
I'm sure there are, but
I'm
I don't
sure.
know where.
Yeah, it really
I
does
like
give
to
me
try it
energy.
once.
Yeah, try it. But don't put a
Yeah.
lot of things in it, right? Don't let them put
No, no,
on
no.
whipped
You know me and
cream.
my lactose intolerance ass. I'm not going to put
Oh no, I
anything.
do mine with oat milk. They make mine
Yeah,
with oat milk.
oat milk, that's it. And maybe some
Yeah.
honey, that's it.
Yeah, exactly. And I find that's really nice. But it does make me, when I'm feeling very overwhelmed and whatnot, it does elevate my mood. I can't deny that.
Mm.
Right. And so I've been having a lot of, yeah, I would say a challenging few weeks. And so I had one after my morning swim, and my day has felt so much better. I've had more energy and all the things. So I do have to look into, well, where can I get this that I'm not actually colonizing someone's spiritual practice? Like, I'm not down with that. So I have to figure it
Mhm.
out.
Yeah.
Um, and also, we have a baker in Nevis who bakes focaccia bread. Dear Lord. And I ordered one and I received it today. And I just was in my kitchen like, yo, I am so blessed. I had a matcha latte and look at me eating freshly baked rosemary focaccia bread. Yo. So yes,
You in
those two
heaven.
things brought me joy. Judge not that ye may not be judged, Fiona Compton. Mm.
Kind of sounds to me like you're judging yourselves, but that's okay.
And don't
Whatever.
keep gaslighting us.
Whatever.
Watch here. Watch
Yeah.
here. She trying to
Whatever.
gaslight
Whatever.
us after
Yeah.
saying what
Giving,
she said.
giving self-judgment. That's
Boy, boy.
And on this gaslighting note,
wow. Let me tell you, Chantal, Sherween is
Hey,
the queen of sauce and seasoning.
let me
yeah,
tell you, I am
yes.
at a stage in my life right now where I say what the fuck comes to my mind with zero
No,
fucks to give.
I'm
Okay, I
sorry.
say it.
When were you ever not at that stage in your
Well,
life?
now
I'm
it's even
you
more
know
confused.
what?
pronounced.
Chantal, you're right.
I'm so
Chantal,
It's
you are
even
confused.
right.
more.
No, we
I'm
need
just
to
like,
pause
wait,
for a
what?
sec. We need to pause because
Huh?
yes, she's been saying this a lot this week. I'm at a stage in my life when I don't give a fuck.
But
And I'm
I
like,
when
say
has
you're
she
right.
what
ever
I
given
want,
that?
what comes
And
to
you know what?
mind.
I was entertaining her. I was like, yes, you're right. You shouldn't give a fuck, Sherween.
Okay, okay.
And I'm like, hold on. Chantal, you're right. She's
So
never
confused.
given a fuck.
I am so confused by that comment,
She has
Fiona.
never, she's never, she's
This
never.
declaration of
She's
nothingness.
never, and especially when somebody tell her don't do it.
Of
Oh
Oh,
my God.
green lights,
That's
green
like go,
lights.
go, go, go,
You
go,
are
go.
And
so
on
right.
this note, we're gonna say goodbye because they're ganging up on me now. So I think this is the perfect time after we had such an amazing guest. Rowena, thank you so much for coming on and spending time with us and speaking to us about all the amazing work you're doing. And remember, people, a shared journey feeds off you.
A shared journey brings hope and
This
sometimes a
year,
little judgment.
this,
Yes.
this podcast has descended into like
Chaos.
chaos. Before we like shared journey brings hope and like having
Oh.
our anecdotes and everything. Now we like I don't give a fuck.
The many shades of relatable. That's what we're
You know,
calling the
Oh my
episode,
God.
featuring Rowena Poitier-Sutherland. The many shades of relatable. Thank you all.
yes.
We love you. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
We haven't seen a shared journey brings hope, y'all.
We did. You missed it.
We did. Girl, what? Relatable, because a shared journey brings hope.